Good day everyone, my name is Bai Shyna Sabal from BSP2B and today I am going to discuss the track and field throwing events, specifically the hammer throw and javelin throw. So throwing events are sports in athletics where the main goal is to throw an object as far as possible using strength, technique, balance, and coordination. So these events test not only the physical power of an athlete but also their control, timing, and proper body movement. So in track and field, there are there are different kinds of throwing events, and each has its own rules and techniques. So athletes must practice hard to improve their speed, form, and accuracy in order to achieve the longest throw possible. So sa mga throwing events, mahalaga din ang like tamang posture, footwork at concentration ng athletes upang maging successful ang bawat pag-throw nila. So first, let us talk about the hammer throw. So ang hammer throw is isa siya sa mga throwing events sa track and field na nangangailangan ng strength, balance, coordination, agility, at proper footwork. In this event, the athlete throws a heavy metal ball called the hammer, which is connected to a wire and a handle. Even though it is called a hammer, hindi ito siya katulad ng ordinaryong martilyo na ginagamit natin sa bahay. So, the athlete must spin several times before releasing the hammer to gain momentum and power. Dahil sa bilis at lakas na kailangan sa event na to, mahalaga ang body control at concentration ng bawat player, and the minimum total length of the hammer is about 46.3 inches. In competitions, the men's hammer weight is 7.26 kilograms, while the women's hammer weight is 4 kilograms only. These measurements are standardized para maging fair ang competition sa lahat ng players. Also, hammer throw is not only about physical strength. Kailangan din dito ng tamang timing, technique at disiplina upang mai-throw ng maayos yung hammer or mas mai-throw ito ng mas malayo. So now, let's discuss the competition and technique used in hammer throw. So sa event na ito, the athlete grips the handle using both hands. Some athletes also wear gloves para magkaroon ng mas matibay at ligtas na grip habang umiikot. Before releasing the hammer, athletes usually rotate their body 3 or 4 times inside the throwing circle. So, ang mga ikot na yon siya is tumutulong upang makabuo ng centrifugal force, which increases the speed and distance of the throw. The smoother and faster the turns are, the greater the chance of achieving a long throw. So, the throwing circle has an inside diameter of 2.135 meters, and athletes must stay inside the circle during the throw. Kapag nakaapak ang athlete sa labas ng circle bago bumagsak ang hammer, it will be considered as a foul. Usually, athletes are given 6 attempts during competitions, and ang pinakamalayong legal throw ang siyang magiging final score ng athlete. Because of this, athletes need to combine power, balance, and proper technique in every throw. So the next one is the javelin throw. So the javelin throw is a spear-like implement that is thrown over the shoulder after an approach run. Hindi tulad ng hammer throw, ang athlete na ay hindi na kailangang umikot dito sa javelin throw. Instead, tumatakbo sila ng mabilis upang makakuha ng momentum bago ihagis ang javelin. So the men's javelin weighs about 800 grams and is at least 260 centimeters long, while the women's javelin weight is at least 600 grams and measures around 220 centimeters long. So the javelin has three main parts, which are the pointed metal head, the shaft, and the cord grip where the athletes holds it. So the javelin throw is unique because it is the only throwing event that uses a runway instead of a circular throwing area. Kailangan din dito ang speed, strength, flexibility at tamang timing upang maihagis ng malayo at tama ang javelin. This event also requires good coordination between the arms, legs, and body movements para makapagbigay ng maximum force during the throw. So, in javelin throw, very important ang tamang paghawak ng javelin because it affects control, balance, and release. These are three common types of grip used by athletes. First is the American grip. In this grip, the cord is held between the thumb and forefinger. Ito ang madalas gamitin ng beginners because it provides better controls and mas madaling gamitin. The second is the fork grip. In this technique, the cord is held between the forefinger and middle finger. Many athletes prefer this grip dahil mas nakakatulong ito sa direction at stability ng javelin habang lumilipad ito sa ere. The third is the finish grip. Here, the cord is held between the middle finger and thumb. This grip can help improve the spin and release of the javelin, which may increase the throwing distance. However, mas mahirap itong i-master at nangangailangan ng more practices. Also, each athlete chooses the grip that feels most comfortable and effective for them. Ang proper grip ay mahalaga upang magkaroon ng smooth at accurate release. Now, let us discuss the basic rules in javelin throw. So first is the javelin must always be gripped at the cord and thrown over the shoulder. Hindi ito maaaring ihagis lang tulad ng discus o may paikot na motion. For a throw to be valid, the javelin must land head first within the 29 degrees sector or landing area. Kapag ang buntot ng javelin ang unang bumagsak o lumabas ito sa landing sector, the throw will be considered as a foul. So, the runway used in javelin throw is about 4 meters wide and at least 30 meters long. Ginagamit ito ng athletes upang makabuo ng speed at momentum bago ihagis ang javelin. Just like in hammer throw, athletes usually have 6 attempts and ang pinakamalayong legal throw ang magiging official score nila. These rules are important to ensure fairness and safety during the competition. So lastly, let us talk about the basic technique in javelin throw. The first step is called the straight approach. Sa phase na ito, the athletes holds the javelin high over the throwing shoulder while running smoothly toward the throwing line. Usually, athletes use 13 to 17 strides to build speed and momentum. The second phase is called withdrawal and crossover. Dito, the athlete turns the body sideways toward the target while pulling the javelin backward. The non-throwing leg crosses over habang naghahanda para sa final release nito. So, the throwing arms should remain straight while the body leans slightly backward. Ang position na ito ay tumutulong upang makapag-generate ng more force during the throw. Finally, the athlete quickly drives the body forward and release the javelin at the proper angle. Good javelin technique requires practice, timing, coordination, and balance. Sa pamamagitan ng tamang technique, athletes can throw farther while avoiding injuries. Conclusion, both hammer throw and javelin throw are exciting throwing events in track and field that require strength, skill, discipline, and proper techniques. Kahit magkaiba ang equipment at movement na ginagamit dito, parehong sinusubok ng dalawang events and ang power coordination at focus ng athletes upang makuha ang pinakamalayong throw possible. So that's all for my part. Thank you for listening.